Welcome everyone, Stephen Kruiser here for PJMedia, and joining me right now is Senator Mike Braun from the great state of Indiana. I've got some good friends there. I love going there in the summertime. It's a wonderful place.
It's a great place. I basically have lived there all my years other than a couple, and was smart enough after I got educated to move back to my hometown.
I did that a few years ago too. I moved back to my hometown after 25 years. So okay, we weren't going to lead with this, but obviously with the news in the world today, last night we get here and then Vladimir Putin did what we all knew he was going to do. He invaded Ukraine, and there have been threats. You see the left-wing media like celebrating, well, Joe Biden's in charge now. He's going to realistically, we know it's a mess there with this White House, but what can Biden do in the coming weeks to address this?
So, in the big picture, I agree that we shouldn't be entangled with troops inside Ukraine. Trump got us out of Afghanistan, was very clear that in wars like Afghanistan, Iraq, even going way back to Vietnam, you can't be there piling all that investment in it and mostly the loss of life. So we do, though, and I think Trump was respected, that if there were red lines, he was going to defend them. And the Dems and Biden trying to say that anything they could do at this point has got merit other than what would be obvious, obviously, and that's shutting down their economy. They have projected weakness from the moment they decided to re-talk with Iran when they clumsily exited Afghanistan. Putin, Xi, North Korea, Iran, they watched that stuff. So we gave them the opportunity because we projected weakness. Now we're scrambling, and here's the key thing why I think we can bring them to their knees. They were much larger back when Reagan did it with the Soviet Union. They are a small economy based upon gas stations and drilling. Their economy is less than 10% of ours. It's under half the size of Germany's. Look at the pressure that we can put on them, and thank goodness Germany wasn't pussyfooting and saying that we'll work some deal out on Nord Stream 2. Hopefully they'll be the driver in EU that has the most to lose or gain depending on how we put the screws on their economy.
Okay, let's say the U.S. opts in for that too. What's the time frame on that? How long before they have to cave? How long can he hold out?
Well, we've already waited too long from point. I think he's going to be hopefully giving that to us here when he has his speech. I'm not sure if that's already occurred or not. I've been in flight, but when Putin went in there as kind of a liberating force in those two provinces, there should have been more severe sanctions. And here, you need to throw everything in the kitchen sink at it because of that disproportionality of our collective economies with theirs. Even though China may try to help them through it, they risk, if they're all of a sudden going to be an endorser of breaching, international borders. But this has been telegraphed a long time, and it's due to the fact that weakness has been projected from day one when Biden took over. Now we're dealing with the consequences.
I'm no foreign policy expert, but it's not just the weakness with the Biden administration. It seems to me, correct me if I'm wrong, to be completely incoherent at all levels when it comes to foreign policy with this administration. I mean, obviously, I'm a partisan and I'm going to say things about this administration, but it really does appear to be they're just throwing things at the wall to see what sticks all the time.
Well, they do, and even when it comes to issues like what we've done, what the administration has done, shutting down our independence in energy, simply because it was on some long-range goal of trying to fight climate change. I'm a believer as a conservative we need to be in that conversation, but not with crazy stuff like the Green New Deal and all that. But they then, when they get into these pickles, there were things they've done on their own, sets the stage up for bad options. That's what we're dealing with.
Yeah, and they have to be reactive all the time. They're not proactive with anything.
Exactly.
So one more question about foreign policy right now. You alluded to it in your first remarks. I think everybody is weary of the whole nation-building stuff, like on the conservative side. Do you think that kind of neocon philosophy is gone forever, or there's still people out there still prominent people trying to keep it alive?
Sadly, that's where Democrats and Republicans still get together. And when you get in a problem, borrow the money and spend it. President Eisenhower warned us of that approach. That is still kind of that unholy alliance that exists in D.C.